Hello.
Hello, Harold. How
Hi,
are you?
I am good. How was your Pesach?
Baruch Hashem, it was great. How about yours?
Very good. Yeah, we were in Florida, so just got back about an hour ago.
Oh, enjoy.
Yeah, it was very
I
nice.
am on service this month at the VA,
Oh, wow.
so
Can't go
I
anywhere.
am I'm busy. I may leave you guys in a half hour, but
Oh
at
my
least
gosh.
I listen to you guys for a little bit.
Oh, even at night, they call you?
Well, no, but I have all my notes to write. We had a
Oh,
lot of work during the day, so I don't get to write my notes. So I don't like to leave it over.
no,
Uh,
no.
so.
I
Hi, Harold. Is that a picture of my queen behind you there?
That's my aunt. She thinks she's the queen. Just humor
Oh,
her.
that's
Yeah, that's the
You
queen.
guys,
That's
you
my
guys,
queen.
you guys are too funny.
That's right. Yeah, she is your queen. You're Canadian, right?
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like Queen Elizabeth.
it is. It's a picture of Queen Elizabeth. Yeah. An
What are you
artist
doing?
when artist took a picture of her. It's a unique picture. I'll show you what happened. He was taking an official portrait, and she closed her eyes.
Huh?
So they decided to keep the picture. So he made an art thing out of it with her eyes closed, and it's
Okay.
worth much more than a regular photo of the queen. It's a weird thing. It's called I forget what he called it. It's a Jewish photographer. What's his name? Levine or something.
Yeah, he bored her to sleep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Of all time, she kept her eyes closed. So he beheaded her.
Of
No, she beheaded him, rather. You ever see the Queen?
course. I saw
So,
her in the 1960s.
oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
I think he's supposed to make a bracha.
yes. A broch.
Oh,
Uh, or is it Ernie? Oh, Walter.
Harold, Shalom Aleichem.
Hi, Walter.
How are you? Are you back home?
Yes. I got home about an hour and a half ago.
How was Miami?
It was very nice. A lot of Floridians. Lots of Floridians.
Oh, did you leave some sun for anyone else besides you?
There's enough to go around. It
Eh?
didn't rain. Last year it rained a couple of days. This year it didn't rain, thank God.
I heard the weather was nice.
It was very nice. It wasn't humid at all. It was like even the Florida people were surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. It's April. It's supposed to start to get humid now. That's what they said, mid-April. But it cooperated.
Did
Listen,
you see Trump this year?
Trump didn't show up this year. I think he's too busy.
No.
yeah, he's busy bankrupting the country, so
He's busy messing with the economy. Yeah.
he's messing a lot with the economy. Yep. All right. We missed you.
Yes. What can I do? I can't be in two places at the same time.
Hey, weren't you also around?
Sorry?
Weren't you around also? We were waiting for you there.
I know. So I started walking, then I realized how far it was, and I had to come back that night too. So I didn't go.
Okay.
It was too far.
Okay. Okay, good to see everybody again. I'll wait.
Hello, everybody. I hope everybody had
Hi, Ernie.
a beautiful Pesach.
Hi, Ernie.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, we are on Yud Aleph Amud Beis, the Mishnah. Misha Nigmar Dino Meis Kohen Gadol. We know that if the person who killed B'Shogeg and he gets sent to the Ir Miklat and the Kohen Gadol dies, he goes free. So once he has a Gemar Din and the Kohen Gadol dies, already in a Gola. In fact, if he hadn't gone to Golus yet, he doesn't go to Golus. While he's being tried, there's no verdict yet. And the Kohen Gadol dies. And Uminu Acher Tachta. And now a new Kohen Gadol is appointed. And then Lachem Nigmar Dino. Then there's the Gemar Din, Choizer B'Misaso Shel Sheni. So he has to wait until the Kohen Gadol who had been appointed after the death of the first guy dies before he goes free. Now, If it so happened that a Kohen Gadol died, and there's no appointment, there's no new Kohen Gadol, Nigmar Dina below Kohen Gadol, or Hahoire Kohen Gadol, the person kills a Kohen Gadol b'shogeg, or Kohen Gadol shoharag, or he has to flee to Galus himself. So there's no Kohen Gadol for him to die, to go free. So therefore, Ein Yotze Misham La'olam. He stays in the Ir Miklat forever. Now, when a Rotseach is in the Ir Miklat, Ein Yotze, Lo Le'edus Mitzvah. Let's say he's an aid. To do a mitzvah. For example, for Kiddushin. Lo Le'edus Mammon. Somebody needs him to be an aid about a transaction. Lo Le'edus Nefashos. Let's say he was a witness for a murder case. He doesn't leave the Ir Miklat. Afilu Yisrael Tzrichin Lo. Even if there's Jews who need him. Afilu Sar Tzva Yisrael Kiyav Ben Sruya. Let's say he's the chief of staff of the army, like Yoav. Eina Yotze Misham La'olam. He may not leave the Ir Miklat. And of course, in a case where there was no Kohen Gadol, he never leaves forever. Shenamar Asher Nas Shama, Sham Tehei Diraso, Sham Tehei Misaso, Sham Tehei Kvuraso. He will live there, he will die there, he will be buried there. Keshem Sha'ir Koletes, just like when he's in the city, the Goel Dam cannot kill him. Kach Truma Kolet. So too, the Tchum, right? Any area 2,000 amas outside of the city is also Kolet. Rotzech Shiatza Chutz L'Tchum Umitzao Goel Adam. If the murderer leaves the Ari Miklat, and the family finds him, Rabbi Yosef Gliomer mitzvah biad Goel Adam. The Goel Adam has a mitzvah to kill him. Or reshus biad Kol Adam. Not only that, anybody who finds him can kill him. Rabbi Kiva reshus biad Goel.
And he just can ask you a question. But he's
Yeah.
not really a murderer. He did it b'shoigeg. So he's not a murderer. He's not a murderer.
He killed somebody, not
But
b'mezid.
but he didn't do it b'ma'ezid. He's not a murderer.
But the family's allowed to kill him, even if
But the family. But now that we're saying somebody else can come and kill him, anybody can kill him.
Rabbi Yossi Aglili said that.
Yeah.
Rabbi Kiva Oimer reshus biyad Goel Adam. V'chol Adam, if somebody else kills him, chayavin alav, we will put him to death. Now that's not how the Gemara ends up. We'll see if somebody else kills him, he's also not chayiv. But that's in the Gemara. Right here in the Mishnah, we're learning that another person doesn't have the right to kill him. My time, huh? If there was no Kohen Gadol, when there was a Gemar Din, or excuse me, that the Kohen Gadol dies after the Gemar Din, he doesn't go to Golus. My time, Amar Abaya. Kal v'chomer, umami shegala kvar yetze be'achshav. If somebody already gone to Golus, and the Kohen Gadol dies, he leaves, so mi shelo gala, someone who hasn't gone yet, so Eino Din shelo yigla. Kal v'chomer, he shouldn't go in the first place. Maybe the guy who already went into Ir Miklat, he's already had kapara. Ha the lo gala lo. But maybe the one who did not go yet to Golus has not had kapara. So the Gemara says, you don't understand. Midi Golus kumachapra? Going to Golus is not the atonement. Misa's koyin udimachapra. It's the death of the Kohen Gadol that's the atonement. Then we said im ad shalom nigmar dino. We said if there was no Gmar Din and the Kohen Gadol died and another one was appointed, And then there was Gmar Din. He goes out after the death of the second Kohen Gadol. Benanimili. How do we know this? Amar Rav Kahana, the Amar Kra, the Yashav Ba, he shall live in the Ir Miklat, Ad Mosa Kohen Gadol, Asher Masracho So B'Shem HaKodesh. So what? The Rotzeach V'chihu Moshcho? It's not that he anointed Elazar Shenimshach B'Yom. We're talking about the Kohen who was anointed in his lifetime. And Maya Valela Mavid. Before we said also, yesterday we learned that the Kohen Gadol has a little bit of culpability. Why didn't he daven on behalf of his generation that people wouldn't get killed? Right? Why is it all hung on the Kohen Gadol's head? The Kohen Gadol could have davened for the murderer that they would have made him innocent and not guilty to run. And he didn't daven good enough. So that's why he's partly to blame. That's how the Gemara learns. Amar Abai Naktina, Nigmar Dino Umeis. Let's say the Rotseach has been adjudicated in court to go to Golus, and then he dies before he gets there. Moilichin es atzmoisav l'sham. We bring his bones to the Ir Miklat and bury him there. T'chsiv lashuv lasheves ba'aretz ad Mosa Kohen. Ezer yeshiva shi ba'aretz. What's a dwelling that's in the ground? Have you omer zukvura? Tana meis kodem shemeis Kohen Gadol. If the Rotseach dies before the Kohen Gadol, moilichin atzmosav al kivri avoisav. We bring his bones to his ancestral plot. T'chsiv Yashuva rotzech el eretz achuzaso. Ezer yeshiva shi beretz achuzaso avi omer zukvura. So we bury him initially in the Ir Miklat, says the Rambam. Then after the death of Kohen Gadol, they can move his bones back to the ancestral plot. Now, Nigmar Dino. The person has had Gmar Din and Bezdin to go to Golus. And the Kohen Gadol, who is currently the Kohen Gadol, Nasa Kohen ben Grusha ben Chalutza. Somebody shows up and gives testimony to Eidim that this Kohen Gadol is really a ben Grusha, the son of a divorcee. And so he's not a real Kohen. So what happens? Is that considered like his death and the guy goes out or not? It's considered as if the Kohen died. The Chadabar Batla Kahuna. It's as if there was no Kohen Gadol when there was Gmar Din, and therefore he never leaves the Ir Miklat forever. Lema beplukted Rabbi Eliezer Rabbi Yeshua Kod Mifleki. This machlokes, the Gemara wants to say, is the same machlokes as Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua. This is not. A Kohen is standing on the Mizbeach and offering korbanos. And right then and there, Noidashu ben Grusha ben Chutza, he's informed that he's a Apostle Dika Kohen. Rabbi Eliezer Omer called korbanos shehikri psulin. The korbanos that he offered are apostle, because retroactively we know he's not a Kohen. Rabbi Yeshua Machshir. Rabbi Yeshua says, until we know about it, all the korbanos were kol. Okay. Now, Mando Omer, the one who says that if a Kohen Gadol is paskin to be a ben Grusha, it's as if he died, right? Mando Omer Mesak, Rabbi Yeshua. It's not that he's, at this point and on, he's not a good Kohen, but before he was a good Kohen. Uman Deber Botlak Rabbi Eliezer. And the one who says, listen, this Kahuna is Mizvatel, even retroactively, is like Rabbi Eliezer, that it says Batla Kahuna. So the Gemara says no. Alibid Rabbi Eliezer Kulam Alop. Now we're on Yud Beis. Alibid Rabbi Eliezer Kulam Alop Ligi. The sheet of Rabbi Eliezer, nobody's arguing. According to him, certainly the kahuna is misbatel, and it's as if there was never a Kohen Gadol. Ki pligi alibid Rabbi Yeshua. Mandamer Mesa, the one who says that if a Kohen is adjudicated to be a Ben Grush or Ben Chlutza, it's as if he died. But Umandamer Botla, the one who says that it's as if the kahuna was nisbatel, maybe Adkan Lakam Rabbi Yeshua Hasam, maybe Rabbi Yeshua, by the Kohen doing the avodah on the Mizbeach, there he says that the previous korbanos are kosher. There's a beferish tika pasuk, Barech Ufloya Daf Tirtzeh. Chelo, we darshna feel chalal in Shabo. That b'diavad, even if a halal did the korban b'diavad, it's okay. Aval hacha, but in terms of the status of the kohen, maybe he wouldn't say the same thing. If Rabbi Yeshua moide, that it wouldn't be basic kahuna, but it would be batla kahuna. Then Nigmar Dino, he doesn't go out from the Ir Miklat forever. If there was no Kohen Gadol when he was appointed. We said even if the Klai Yisrael needed him, like Yoav ben Sruya was the chief of staff of David HaMelech. When Yoav found out that Shlomo HaMelech wanted to kill him because of the command of David HaMelech, David, when he was dying, told Shlomo, I don't want Yoav to live. So Yoav ran into the base of Migdash, he held on to the Mizbeach. Dichsi vayanas Yoav el Oel Hashem, vaychazek bekronos HaMizbeach. Mlachim Aleph, Perek Beis. Toa sheina kolei, elagagoy. He made a mistake, number one. He held on to the corners of the Mizbeach. You have to be on the top of the Mizbeach, on its gag, in order for the Mizbeach to protect. V'hu tafas b'karnoisa. Toa sheina kohen el Mizbeach beis olamim. V'hu tafas Mizbeach shel Shiloh. Remember, Shlomo HaMelech didn't build the base HaMikdash until 4 years into his reign. At this point, there was still only the Mizbeach, the Mishkan, and the Mizbeach that was in Shiloh. Right? The Aron, it was in Nov and Givon, and the Mizbeach was in Shiloh. So he ran and was holding on to the Mizbeach in Shiloh, which doesn't have the power to protect. Abaya Omar, here he made a mistake. We learned in our Mishnah that only a Kohen who's doing the avoda on the Mizbeach, at that time, he is exempted from punishment. But Yoav was a Zar. Who's Zar Haya? He was a non-Kohen. And the Amar of Shleker, Sholosh Toyus Osid, Sarah Shal Roimi Litois. The Malach for Rome is going to make 3 mistakes. Tichsiv. It says in Yeshaya, Mi zeba me Edom chomutz begodi mi batzra. That means HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to come after he destroys the Malach of Edom in Batzra, because the Malach of Rome, Toya she'ena koiletes, he thought that running to Batzra would protect him. But Betzer is the name of the Ir Miklat, as Betzer Bamidbar. V'hu goyle leBatzra. Toya she'ena koiletes ela b'shoigig. V'hu mezid hayu. The Sar Shel Rome didn't kill B'shogig, he killed B'mezid. And these cities only protect people who kill B'shogig. Toyer, Sheina Koletes Ela Adam V'hu Malachu. An Ir Miklat doesn't protect the Malach, it only protects a human being. Amravo Are Miklat Lo Nitnu Lekvura. We don't bury people in an Ir Miklat. Because by the Ari Halavim it says, Umigrishehem yiyu lebehem tam uleruchusham ulechol chayosam. L'chaim nosnu v'lo lekvura. The Levim who lived in these Ari Miklat are buried outside of the city because of this pasuk. So the Gemara says, Meisvei. We learned Shama, that the guy who runs into Galus, we said Sham tehei diraso, Sham tehei misaso, Sham tehei kvaraso. We did a drasha beferish that the person who runs to Galus is buried there. So Roitzeach shining to Gali Berachmana. The Roitzeach is different. He can be buried there because the Torah permitted him. But the other people who live in that city are not buried within the city. Kashem Sha'ir Koletes. The Mishnah said even the Tchum, 2,000 amis outside the city, also protects. But Vreminu, I'll show you a kasha. It says Vayoshav Ba. The murderer has to stay in the city. Ba v'lo bin chuma. It excludes the Tchum. Rabbi loy kasha. When is the Tchum considered like the city Liklot? To save the murderer, even the Tchum saves him. And the Goel Adam is not allowed to kill him there. But when the Brisa said, Ba v'lo b'tchuma, Kan lodur. He has to live in the city itself, not in the area of the Tchum. Now, why would I need a special pasuk to tell me that the Rotzech cannot live in the Tchum? Typically, we should learn it from a different pasuk. She'ein oisin sodem migrash, a field around the Levium city. We don't make it an open area. V'lo migrash sod, an open area we don't turn into a field. Lo migrash ir, we don't turn an open field into a place to live. V'lo ir migrash. We already have a pasuk that tells us that you can't dwell there. That, let's say the Rotzeach builds some kind of trough in the Tchum, and he wants to live there. So there's no Isser regarding damaging, because he didn't make a field, but he can't do it from this pasuk that we just darshaned. Ba v'lo b'tchuma. Then we said Rotzech sheyotza chutz l'tchum. So we said either the Goel Adam, it's a mitzvah for him to kill him, or he's permitted to kill him. What about other people? Ton Rabbanan. It says the pasuk, Umatza oso Goel Adam. The Goel Adam finds the murderer, michutz legvul ir miklato. V'ratzach Goel Adam et harotzeach. The Goel Adam, it sounds like he may kill the Rotzeach. Ein lo dam. He has no responsibility. Mitzvah via Goel Adam. The Brisa says it's a mitzvah for the Goel Adam to kill him. Ein sham Goel Adam. If to be kind that mitzvah, if the Goel Adam is not there, Rishus biyad kol adam. Even another person can kill him. Div Rabbi Yosef Glili. Rabbi Kiva Oimer, Rishus biyad Goel Adam only. But v'chol adam chayav and alav. If a stranger killed him, he would be chayav for ritzicha. My time at Rabbi Yosef Glili, who permits a third party. Mi ksiv im rotzach goel adam es rotzach ein lo dam. It doesn't say if he murders him, he has no dam. It just says rotzach es rotzach, which seems to imply it's a mitzvah. Rabbi Kiva says mi ksiv yirtzach. It's not a command. It's just like we're saying over. If it so happened that he killed them, he ain't lo dam. But that's how Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Yosef Glili dispute how they learn that pasuk. If the murderer is outside of the Ir Miklat, umatzasham goel adam, v'hargo, and the Goel Adam finds him there and kills him, he's put to death. I don't get it. Come on, who is that like? I mean, both Rabbi Yossi Aglili and Rabbi Kiva held that the Goel Adam could kill him. So the Gemara says it's Lok Rabbi Yossi Aglili, V'lok Rabbi Kiva. So who the Omrak Aitana? There's a third Tanya in the mix. The Tanya Rabbi Eliezer Oimer. The pasuk says V'lo Yamus Harotzeach Ad Amdo Lifnei Ha'edal Mishpat. You just can't kill him. You have to bring him to court, and the court adjudicates the case. Talmud Loimar Lafisha Nemar. Because it says already Umatzah so Goel Adam V'ratzach Goel Adam Sarotzeach. Yachol Miyad. Maybe that would tell me that the Goel Adam could kill him right away. Talmud Loimar Ad Amdo Lifnei Ha'edal Mishpat. Even the Goel Adam has no permission to kill him unless he is adjudicated in Bezdin. And if there hadn't been a prior adjudication that he has to go, that he's a murderer b'shogeg, and if he hasn't been adjudicated and the Goel Adam kills him, he's killed for that. Now, where does Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Kiva, what do they do with Adam Dolif Nedala Mishpat? What do they, my Darshabei? Hahu Maboy Lelechaditanya. Rabbi Kiva Minayin Sanhedrin. If the whole Sanhedrin was out and about, they saw somebody kill somebody b'shogeg, or even a murderer. Ein memisnoso. They cannot adjudicate him lemisa. Ad sheyamod bebeis din acher. They have to take that guy and adjudicate him in a different bezdin. And we learned from that pasuk, Talmud Lamar ad amdolif ne'adel mishpat ad sheyamod bebeis din acher. So that's what how do they learn from that pasuk? Im yatsa yatsa rotzeach. If the rotzeach leaves the ir miklat, v'ratzach goel adam es rotzeach ein lo dam, ein li ela b'mezid. That seems to imply that a goel adam can kill him if the murderer killed b'mezid. Oh, I'm sorry. If he left the ir miklat b'mezid, he knows what he's doing. Well, let's say b'shogeg minayin. What's the din if the murderer leaves the city b'shogeg? Talmud lomar im yatso yatsa mikol makom. The double language says that the goel adam can kill him no matter what. V'atanya v'ahorgo b'mezid nerag b'shogeg gola. That if the guy left the city b'mezid, he can be killed, but b'shogeg gola, the guy who kills him still has to go to Golos. He doesn't have the right to kill him. Lo kasha hakam adam omar amrin and dibrator koloshim de'odam. Some learn that when the Torah repeats words, it's like poetic. The Torah speaks like a human being. Like yatso yatsa, it doesn't teach us anything. But hakam adam lo amrinan dibra loshin kol de'odam. Therefore, the double language comes to be marba, even the case if the guy left the city b'shogeg, he's also allowed to be killed by the goel adam without any ramification for the goel adam. Amar Abaya. Mistaver commando amar dibra Torah koloshim de'odam. It's logical that we don't darshan the yatso yatsa, and if the guy left b'shogeg, the goel adam does not have the right to kill him. Shelo yeh soifoi chomer mitchiloso. That the end of somebody who killed b'shogeg shouldn't be worse than his beginning. Matchiloso, when they first adjudicated him, when he killed somebody, that the case was b'mezid. If they determined that he did b'mezid, he was be killed. Nerag b'shogeg goyla. So absofo b'mezid nerag b'shogeg goyla. So if he leaves the town b'mezid, yes, he is put to death. But b'shogeg he goes to Golos. Tani chada. Av shoharad es beno. A father that killed his son. Beno nasa lo goel adam. The other brother, right? Because he's also the beno. He's the relative. He can kill the father as a goel adam. But Tanyirich ain't beno nasa lo goel adam. The other sons cannot be the goel adam. Lema kiha Rav Yosef Glili. Perhaps the mandama that says that the son can kill him is like Rav Yosef Glili, who said it's a mitzvah on the Gwel Adam to kill. So the mitzvah falls on the son. Vahan, the one who says that you can't, is Rabbi Kiva. That it's only reshus and not a mitzvah. Frank Gemara v'tizbara. The Gemara doesn't understand the bichlal. Bein l'mandam mitzvah, bein l'mandam reshus mishari. How could it be permissible for a son to kill his father? Rav Yaakov v'chein tan Rabbi Shmuel. Lakol, all of heirs in the Torah, even if a father sinned and he needs makkos or to be cursed, Eina ben nasa shliach la'aviv la'kosav v'klosai. Bezdin cannot appoint a son to be shliach bezdin to give him makkos or to curse him, except in one case, chutz mimesis. If the father was a mesis and convinced a city to worship avodah zarah, even a son can kill or curse. So we have to reject what we said before. Ella loy kasha. Habib, no. The Brisa says that a son cannot kill his father. It's talking about a son. And where we said that he can kill, that's Vahabib ben Beno, a grandson. It's not the same mitzvah of kibbud. And therefore, if he's the Goel Adam, he could kill. Now, Ilan, a tree, Shu omed b'soch tchum. The trunk is in the ear miklat. And Vinofo, its leaves or branches, is noite chutz l'tchum, is beyond the tchum. Oh, omed chutz l'tchum. If the tree is outside of the tchum, but Vinofo noite b'soch tchum, the leaves drape over territory that's within the tchum. Hakol hoylech achra noif. It all depends on where the leaves and branches are. If it's within the tchum, it's koilet. If it's not koilet. The Gemara says v'reminu. The Gemara is going to bring a case similar with a tree, but involving eating Meiser Sheni. We know Meiser Sheni has to be eaten in Yerushalayim. So ilan shuaymed besoch apnim. There's a tree. The trunk is within Yerushalayim. The noite lechutz, and the branches are beyond the walls of Yerushalayim. Or omed bechutz v'not lifnim. Or the tree is outside of the wall, but the branches come inside. So as long as you're within the walls, is kilifnim. We see the wall determines, not the branches. So, and we don't go after the tree at all, not after the branches or after the trunk. It's based on the walls. So, freight the Gemara, Meiser alori miklat karamis. You will bring me a kasha on your miklat from Meiser Sheni. Meiser b'choyma tolar rachmana. The psukim in the Torah by Meiser Sheni talks about the walls, and that's what determines whether you can eat it or not. Ari miklat b'dira tolar rachmana. Where can you live? If you can live in that area, then it's koilet, not necessarily the walls. Benoifa mistaderle. He can build a house under the trees. But be'ikaro, lo mistaderle. You can't live in the trunk of the tree. So by Ari Miklat, we follow the branches. However, the Rami Meiser al Meiser. We're going to bring a kasha from one brisa to the other regarding Meiser Sheni. The Tanya. B'Yerushalayim halach achar hanoif. So there's a brisa that says, even if the branches are outside of the walls of the city, you can, since the ikar of the tree is in the city, you can eat under the branches. And the same thing, Bari Miklat achar hanoif. We said with Meiser, we go after the walls. Arokar kasha, Had Rav Yehuda, Had Rabbanon, the Tanya. Rav Yehuda Omer b'Ma'ara, hoylech achar psicha. Regarding Meiser, let's say there's a cave in Yerushalayim, and the opening of the cave opens up in the city. So the whole cave is considered as if it's within the city. You can eat your Meiser Sheni in the cave. Be'ilan hoylech achar noifoi. By a tree, you can eat under its branches, even if it's outside the city. That means the trunk is in the city, and the branches extend beyond the walls. Now, who says Rabbi Yehuda is going to say the thing by the Ari Miklat? Eimer Shasham say Rabbi Yehuda Gabi Meiser. Yes, you show me that Rabbi Yehuda holds. Meiser holds after branches, maybe lechumra, that ikaro bachutz v'noifim bifnim, the opposite way. If the trunk of the tree was outside the walls, but the branches are within, so kiechi shebenoifel amatzi parik, he can't redeem his Paris Meiser Sheni under the branches because the branches are in the city. He has to eat whatever he brought in Yerushalayim. So be ikaro in its trunk, nami lamatzi parik. So they're also, we're not going to redeem it because the trunk sort of follows the branches. But ikar mebifnim v'noifim mebachutz. But let's say its trunk was inside the city and its branches were outside. Maybe kihechish b'noifel matzi achil. Just like we said, you can't eat under the branches outside of Yerushalayim below Padiyah because it's not considered within the walls. You'd have to redeem it. So maybe we'd say bikar nami lo matzi achil below Padiyah. Even though the trunk is in Yerushalayim, you'd have to redeem it before you eat it. So going after the branches for Rabbi Yehuda is only a chumrah by Meiser Sheni. But el gabi Ari Miklat, so bishma imi karba chutz v'noifim bifnim. Let's say the trunk of the tree is outside of the tchum of the Ir Miklat, but the branches are within inside. Then you could say, ki heichi shebenoifel amatzi kotelei. He cannot, the Goel Adam cannot kill the guy while he's under the branches, so he can't do the same with the trunk. But if the trunk was inside and the branches are outside, so are you going to say that since you can kill him when he's under the branches because it's outside of the tchum, you can't, that's inside. It's inside, and certainly you would not be able to make that limud. So Amar Rava, Rav explains differently. If the trunk was inside and the branches were outside, and the murderer B'Shogeg is standing B'Ikaro, the Kulam lo pliki lo matzikotel. Everybody, there's no machlokas, you wouldn't be able to kill him. And that's not the case where Rabbi Yehuda said that the trunk follows the branches. But koi benoifoi, if the murderer was standing under the branches, which is outside, the and maybe the Goel Adam can kill him with arrows or stones. The kulamelo pligid motzikotele. Nobody's going to argue that he could kill him, even according to Chachamim, because the branches are outside of the city, outside of the Tchum. Everybody will agree on that case. Ki pligi. Where will Rabbi Yehuda and the Chachamim argue? Behevi ikaro dargal noifoi. If the trunk is like steps to get up to the branches, to allow the Goel Adam to climb up there to kill him. Marsov Rabbi Yehuda will hold Havi Ikar Dargal Noifoi. The trunk is like steps for the branches. So according to that Rabbi Yehuda, he can climb onto the trunk, even though the trunk is inside. climb up on the ladder, on the on the branches which are outside, and he can shoot at the rotzech and kill him. That's what we mean that Rabbi Yehuda says we go after the knife. And the Chachamim will argue with him, Umar Sover, law the Ikar Dargal knife. We don't, he cannot use the trunk to get to the branches that way. That's how Rav explains. Rav Ashi Omar, my Achar Anof, what does that mean when Rabbi Yehuda says Achar Anof? It doesn't mean the branches or the trunk. It means besides where the trunk is, Af Achar Anof. If you have the chumrah and the trees on the trunk of the trees inside and the branches on the outside, we actually view the branches as if they were inside. And the Goel Adam would not be allowed to kill him. And the Rambam Paskins, Ilan sha'omed lifni mechomos Yerushalayim. You have a tree within Jerusalem. And its branches are outside of the walls. You cannot eat mice. Meiser sheni has to be eaten within the walls. Eating them under the branches won't work. But meiser sheni that is under the branches there ain't pointless, so you can't redeem it either. So it's like in limbo. It's not in, it's not out. Rambam passes like Rav Ashi here. Harag ba'oisoa'ir. Let's say a Levi who lives in the Ir Miklat, he kills somebody begolus in the Ir Miklat. Or a Rotseach who had run away to the Ir Miklat, kills again, b'shogeg. Gola mishchuna l'shchuna. He goes from Hancock Park to Beverlywood. He moves to a different neighborhood. That's golus for him. But Ben Levi, who lives there, goyla me'ir le'ir, he moves to a different Levium city. Tana Rabbana. It says, V'samti l'cha makom asher yanu shama. I'm going to make a place for you to run. V'samti l'cha b'chayecha. That means even when Moshe Rabbeinu was alive, there was an Ir Miklat. What is the Miklat? Makom im koimcha. It was where Moshe lived, which was Machna Levia. If somebody killed B'shogeg, they ran there and they could be protected. Asher yanu shama malamit shar Yisrael magalim b'midbar. If somebody killed somebody during the 40 years in the Midbar, they would run to the Machna Levia. Mikanamru ben Levi shara goyla miplach leplach. That's why in our Mishnah we learn that a Levi has to move from one city to a different city. Im gala leplacho, if he ended up going into Golus in his city himself, Polcho, Kolto, it still is koilet. Am Ravacha Breder of Ika, my Kra, Ki be'ir miklato yeshev, ir shekaltosa kvar. Even if he was there already, he can do it again. Like we said, a double murderer. Okay. We'll stop here. Tomorrow, we'll learn the daf at 7 o'clock. It's to 9.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the tsurba at 8 o'clock.
Very good.
Okay.
How was your trip, Harold?
Very nice. Very nice. Enjoyable. Weather was good. Food was good.
Good.
Was
I
good.
told Abe we missed him, Ernie.
We missed Abe. Yeah.
We should have told him that we were learning
Almost had me.
job for 2 days.
We were at Young Israel were you at the
second
on the
days.
second days?
No.
No. Only the first. We did learn at Young Israel the second days.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a little
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Shkoyach, everybody. Shkoyach. Thank you, Ernie.